All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is the State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams, and today is March the 30th of 2024. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney today. This proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public that can log on and watch. That applies to all participants as well. Those who receive a signature bond will be reset per the notice. Those who receive a cash or surety bond will be reset to the state all-purpose calendar on April the 11th of 2024, whereby certain aspects of the case, including bond or contact provisions, can be revisited. Have all defense attorneys had the opportunity to interview their clients?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, wonderful. Are there any other announcements from the jail before we get started?
Yes, we do need a Spanish interpreter for position number 9.
Okay. Is that going to be possible, Miss Champion or Mr. Jordan?
Miss Chauncey is going to log on around 2:15.
And then position number 3, Mr. Dwight Duffy, he did not come. He's on the MH floor and couldn't get him to comply.
Okay, I'm sorry. Position number, what number was that?
Position number 3, Dwight Duffy.
3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so we'll consider that a MH reset. All right. Are defense attorneys requesting any breakouts or anyone requesting anyone?
Judge Williams, I'm
Yes.
not sure if the public defenders got a waiver from Mr. Duffy. He was MH reset in February, and
Okay.
he got lost in the shuffle and never got placed back on another calendar. So he's been in jail since February and still hasn't had his first appearance.
Oh my. Okay, well, let's deal with that first. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Even whether or not he's had a waiver or anything, he's gonna have to get a signature bond through the jail. Um, let me see. What is his charge? Let me see. He's number 3.
Battery.
Battery. Okay. Mr. Pierre Thomas, are you who's here from the state today? I see Mr. Pierre Thomas.
I can
Whose position
address the case. Given the nature of everything, yes, the state will consent to a signature bond through the jail, but based on the fact it's his volition, it is not necessarily a Riverside.
Well, him getting lost in the system since February is not his volition. So I don't think we can fairly say that. Mr. Duffy, due to circumstances beyond my control, will receive a $10,000 SOB through the jail. I am going to require that he have no contact with that victim. Do we know the name of that victim to put onto the record, Mr. Pierre Thomas?
One moment, Your Honor. It's pulling up.
Okay, that's fine.
The name
And I want to sound for that victim as well.
Okay. Oh, this must have been during the cyber thing, so it must be in the accusation. One moment.
Okay. And that might explain why are we aware, Ms. Jordan, of anyone else in this same position?
Not that I know of at the moment, Judge. I was let known about him by the PD's office.
Okay.
Okay, according to the warrant, the name of the victim is one moment. The name of the victim is Obie Anglin, Anglin. And the accusation could be uploaded to Odyssey.
Is Obie Anglin present on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement? Okay, hearing none. Any objections to the signature bond from the public defender's office as it pertains to Mr. Duffy?
No objection from the public defender's office, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Defendant will receive a $10,000 signature bond through the jail. He is to have no contact with the alleged victim, Obie Anglin. Was there a request to stay away?
One moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
The incident location is 1161 Ponce de Leon Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia.
Do we know what that is?
It was dispatched to a call.
Okay.
No.
Okay, as long as it's not a medical place, he is to stay away from that location. All right, that concludes Mr. Duffy's case. He has an SOB through the jail for that particular charge. All right, who do we have first?
Our first position is number 1, Ms. Beasley.
All right, Mr. Beasley, good afternoon. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. Your case is 24 CR 001513A. You're charged with battery family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Hart, can I have that history, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. It's Siobhan Ferguson for the state.
Oh, hold on. Mr. Howard's gonna give us the history first. If
Oh,
you're
I'm sorry.
talking, Mr. Howard, we can't hear you.
I ain't saying nothing. Fifth arrest,
Oh,
2023 DUI, 2017
okay.
DUI, 2014 alcohol possession dismissed. That's all. This was level
Okay.
3. If you give me a second, mind.
Level 3. Okay. Now, Ms. Ferguson, I'm ready for you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a few facts for the record. On March 29th, about 5:36 p.m., Mr. Breedlove advised the police that he had argued with the defendant, his partner, who he lives with, about his drinking. The defendant struck Mr. Breedlove with his fist, causing visible bruises to his face, which the officer observed. We are recommending a $2,500 surety bond, a stay away from the Habersham Apartments, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, alcohol eval and treatment, no further contact with the victim, and 1-day anger management.
Okay. Mr. Breedlove, I see you on the Zoom conference. If you'd like to make a statement, please please unmute and raise your right hand. You are not required, however, to make a statement, if you don't wish to.
I would like to speak, Judge. I do have my right.
Okay, but wait, you have to turn your camera on and raise your hand so I can place you under oath, all right?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to do this here. What's the,
All
can you,
right. Yes, I can hear you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury?
yes, Judge.
Okay, wonderful. Put your hand out. I'm going to give you some instructions. This is a misdemeanor offense, and as a misdemeanor offense, the defendant is entitled to a bond today. So if you disagree with anything that Ms. Ferguson said, I'm not that concerned with that, as that may be discussed at other proceedings in the future. But what I am most concerned about is any concerns you have for your safety and any desire you have for contact with the defendant. In light of those instructions, Mr. Breedlove, what would you like to tell me?
I would like to tell you that I have no concerns about contact with David Beasley. This was a huge misunderstanding. I know you said those facts can come later, but I personally do not wish to pursue this, even though it's in the state's hands. And I don't want to do any type of no contact or anything with David. This is a huge misunderstanding.
I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement, Mr. Breedlove. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it Mr. Pulliam who represents Mr. Beasley?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Pulliam, your recommendation? You just muted yourself. You were unmuted, then you hit the mute. I don't know what happened. Oh, you're gonna come back over here. That's fine. Just as long as we can hear you, we can see you in 2 places. All right, please
Thank you,
proceed.
Your Honor. So this is Mr. Beasley, Your Honor. We will be asking for a signature on bond for Mr. Beasley. It sounds like he does not have any violent history from the pretrial report. It also looks like there has been a couple of years since a last arrest. And so we'll be asking for a signature on bond. We also will be objecting to the alcohol evaluation and treatment that the state recommended. as well as the anger management the state recommended. Again, those sounds like sentences that would be imposed after a conviction. And as you know, at this particular stage, Mr. Beasley is entitled to his presumption of innocence, and he has not been convicted of anything. It also sounds like there may be some issues with a conviction down the line in this case. But Mr. Beasley does have a doctorate degree, Your Honor. He works as a physical therapist. He went to Augusta University. And so again, we'll be asking for a signature bond.
All right. And the information before me, defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond at the recommended level 3 through pretrial. He is to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim. He is going to take the 1-day anger awareness course. He's going to be subject to random screens, and he's to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the bench, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Beasley. That concludes your case. All
Position,
right. Who do we have next?
position number 6. Move.
All right. This is Emmanuel Jones. Mr. Jones, your case is 24 CR 001517C. You're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of March the 27th. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Howard.
Hold on real quick. Let me see something. Sure. Oh my. Yeah. So I got 65 total with 60 coming out of California. Open case in Clayton County for trespass, possession of drug-related objects, shoplifting, obstruction. On probation out of Cali for carrying concealed dirk or dagger. He was arrested back in February on the FTA. 2022 trespass, 2021 controlled substance. Another 2021 arrest for carrying concealed dirk or dagger conviction. 4 probation violations from 2019 and 1 from 18.
Thank you. Ms. Ferguson?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a few facts for the record. On March 27th at approximately 11:37 p.m., the defendant was asking patrons of the CVS in East Point on Main Street for money. He was asked to leave several times by the employees of CVS, as well as the officer, but did not leave and was subsequently arrested for criminal trespass. As you heard, there is a fairly extensive offense list on GCIC, so we do believe there is a risk of reoffending. There is a $3,000 surety bond set by the judge on this case, and we would also recommend no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and a stay away from the CVS at Main Street and East Point. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Mr. Pulliam?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is Mr. Jones. Again, we will be asking for a signature on bond. There does appear to be, Mr. Jones is residentially challenged, Your Honor, and so I was maybe thinking of, at a later particular time with this particular case, that this may be a PAD referral. If this
I was going to ask, I know no one's from PAD is available today, but this sounds like an ideal PAD case to me as well. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue, Mr. Pulliam.
I know, Your Honor. And so again, that was, where my recommendation was going. He's 30 years old. He does have a high school diploma. Again, there are housing concerns. And so essentially a $3,000 surety bond for Mr. Jones would be equivalent to having no bond at all, Your Honor. He does not have the means to be able to work. He's not employed currently. Neither does he have the means to be able to afford that kind of bond. And so we'll be asking for a signature on bond today, Your Honor.
Is a social worker able to see him at some point? Has a social worker from your office already met with him?
Not as of today, but there has been a request in this same. So
okay. If I give him a signature bond, will he be able to connect with that social worker at any other point, Mr. Pulliam?
Yes, Your Honor. He has told me that he will be able to. There is a working phone number as well that he provided me. And I can also provide him with the social worker's contact information. And so we do have ways of making contact with Mr. Jones if he is ready
Okay.
to respond.
I won't order the BHET because I think they'll make him stay until he gets it done. Okay, defendant's gonna receive a $6,000 SOB through the jail. He is to absolutely stay away from that CVS. Do not go back to that CVS, sir, please.
Yes,
They
Your Honor.
don't want you there, okay? You'll end up right back here talking to me, and it won't be on a signature bond next time.
Yes, Your Honor.
And additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons as a condition of that SOB through the jail. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the bench, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Number 10 is next, Mr. McClary.
Okay, has Miss Chancey logged in? No, okay. Okay, I'm sorry, number 10. Okay, are you Michael McClary?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your case is 24 CR 0014. I'm sorry, 1514A. You're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Second,
Mr. Howard,
second arrest, last arrest was 1992.
okay. Please proceed, Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you, Judge. On the 28th, Mr. McClary threw away a flower arrangement belonging to his wife. Police were subsequently called and he was charged with criminal trespass. And I would like to sound for the victim, but our recommendation is a $2,500, $1,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no further contact with the victim. And a stay away order from the location.
Okay. Just to make sure I understand the facts as alleged, he went to a location he does not reside and threw away a flower arrangement. Or he was at a place he does reside?
Yes, he was. My apologies.
Okay. And his wife's name?
Is Monica McClary.
All right, is Ms. McClary on the line and wishes to make a statement? Because we're charged with a criminal trespass, she's not clearly a victim here, but we will still hear from her
Understood.
if she's present.
Hi, I'm
Is
present.
Miss? All right, Ms. McClary, would you like to make a statement? If so, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Again, if you disagree with what Ms. Ferguson said, I'm not really asking for you to, fill in the facts. You'll have an opportunity to do that later. What I am most concerned with is any concerns you have for your safety and desires for contact. So what would you like to tell me?
I am very concerned about my safety. Last night, we had a heated verbal exchange and he grabbed and ripped a necklace from
I'm
my.
going to object to this. This is going outside the scope of first appearance hearing. This is getting more to the facts of the case.
Okay, hold on. 1 second. Okay, Ms. McClary, hold on. I need to read one thing. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Again, I think I have some background from the advocate, Ms. McClary. So I'm going to ask you just to speak to whether or not you are afraid. You did tell me that, and I will hear a little bit about this, but please don't get too much into the facts. Okay, please continue.
Yes, I had to call the police twice last night. And this is not the first time I've called the police. He is verbally abusive. He has been physically abusive to me. I am very scared for my personal safety, as are our two children, as are his parents and my parents.
Objection. That's hearsay. Ms. McClary is the only person here.
Okay, we're gonna give her a little leeway today, Mr. Pulliam. Okay. All right, go ahead. Very briefly. So we know that you don't want any contact and you do have some concerns for your safety. Would that be fair to say?
Yes. He set up video cameras in our bedroom. He's physically, sexually assaulted me without my knowledge or consent.
Objection. Again, I think
I am concerned.
I think
Okay.
she made it clear that she has some concerns. I don't And the other stuff is,
Mr. Pulliam, your objections noted. I'm gonna give her a little string. Okay, is there anything else, Ms. McClary, you'd like to tell me?
We're in the process of getting divorced. Our mediation is scheduled for May 29th. I would please ask that he, not have any contact with me or be back in the house until we can try to mediate our divorce on the 29th.
All right, I appreciate you coming to court to make that statement. All right, Mr. Pulliam, please proceed.
thank you, Your Honor. So this is Mr. McCleary, Your Honor. Mr. McCleary does own a couple businesses, Your Honor. Again, it sounds like his previous arrest was more than 30 years ago. He does have a graduate's degree, no serious medical issues. We would be objecting to Mr. McCleary not being allowed to return back to his residence. That is where he stays. Again, Your Honor, they're going through a divorce, and so it sounds like there may be some kind of tension. However, Mr. McCleary has a right to be at that residence just as much as the complaining witness in this case, Ms. McCleary. He also helps to take care of his two children, his two boys, Your Honor. And so we will be asking that we will be objecting to any kind of stay away from that particular location, but we would also be requesting a signature on bond for this particular offense, Your Honor.
Okay. Defendant is going to receive a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. He is to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that location. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any necessary items. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons as a condition of that signature bond through pretrial. Is there anything additional?
And nothing from defense, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Position number 7, Lewis.
Okay, before we do that, I see Ms. Chancey is on the line. Ms. Chancey, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth? Oh, Lord, I'm so sorry. It's been a long morning. Do you swear and affirm that you will make an accurate translation from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your skills, knowledge, and abilities?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Thank you, Ms. Chancey.
Mhm.
Mr. Pulliam, do you represent the defendant who needs an interpreter?
We do. I've not had the opportunity to speak with him due to the language barrier, and so
That's what I was gonna ask. Would you like to go into is it possible for us to do a breakout? Are you the only member of public defenders?
Courtroom 1.
no, there's another one here. Ms. Cook is here.
Okay,
We're going to
so-
courtroom 1 with him, so they're gonna log on in courtroom 1, so they can do the breakout.
okay. So we're gonna do that and do a case that's not assigned to Mr. Pulliam.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so who can we take a person who represents this defendant? That's okay. We're gonna take someone else. Thank you.
We're gonna do position number 11. Position number 12.
Okay, Mr. Schroeder. And I can't see who is with the public defender's office there at courtroom 2.
Tanisha Cook.
All right, Ms. Cook, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. All right, Mr. Schroeder, your case is 24 CR 001505C. You're charged with simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights today?
So
You think so? You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. You understand those?
okay.
All right, just need to make sure you do. Mr. Howard, please proceed.
9 total. 2023 trespass. I think that's open. 2018 obstruction conviction and a 2018 probation. Well, 2018 probations. This was level 2.
Okay. All
Thank you,
right.
Your Honor. Brief facts of the case is that on March 29, 2024, the officer responded to a domestic dispute call at the location of 754 Charles Allen Drive. The victim advised that she had been in a physical altercation with her boyfriend, the defendant here. She stated that the incident started over a blanket. She stated that she was in bed and he snatched the blanket away from her. She stated that she exited the bedroom and went to the living room area, at which point he followed her to the couch. He began to push her down several times. She also stated that when she went out in front of the apartment, he and exited the front door, he wrapped his hands around her neck and choked her. The victim also advised that the defendant attempted to hit her with a vase which she threw at her. The victim then called 911 and stated that she wanted to press charges. The victim provided text messages to the officer showing that the defendant admitted to the physical abuse and that the defendant admitted to shoving her. Fortunately enough, our office was able to get in contact with the victim. The victim in this case is Ashley, Ashlee, Smith, traditional spelling, and she advised that I do believe that she will be on the Zoom. She stated that the defendant and her have been living together for approximately 8 months. They share no children together and reside at that 754 Charles Allen Drive location. She stated that they do have a history of domestic violence. The police have been called before. The victim stated that she is not afraid of the defendant. However, she does not want to proceed with the charges, I believe. She confirmed the events in the report. However, she said that she did not get choked and that she was able to breathe. And she said it was a quick grab and that he let her go. She appears to want contact and want the defendant to return to the residence, Your Honor. The recommendation from the state as it relates to this, and it's given that he has that open case in Gwinnett, is a $1,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location. We don't believe it's been a sufficient amount of cooling off time, a no contact with the victim, and the completion of an anger awareness course. And if we could sound from Ms. Smith in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right, Ms. Smith, I did see you on the Zoom conference. If you'd like to make a statement, please turn on your camera. Please raise your right hand.
I'm not sure how to turn on my camera, but I mean, I don't really have a statement though. So, oh wait, here we go.
All right, do you wish to make a statement?
No,
Okay.
yeah, if
well
I
then-
could drop the charges.
No, that's you. I put you under oath. So either yes or no to the statement. No statement?
No statement.
Okay, I understood. Thank you, Ms. Smith. All right, Ms. Cook, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Schroeder is 44 years old. He's been in Georgia for the last 16 years. He's completed some college at Georgia State where he was majoring in middle childhood education. He's self-employed. He's been employed for 2 years. He owns Singing River paint and wall coverings. Your Honor, we're asking for a signature on bond on this particular matter. It's my understanding that even though he does have some history, he's never had a history of violence, doesn't have any failure to appears that I've heard mentioned. We are asking for him to be able to go back to the incident location. It sounds like the victim is not afraid of him and actually wants contact with him. So that is our request, Your Honor.
All right. In light of the information before me, defendant is going to receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 2. He is to take let me write that down. He is to take the 1-day anger awareness course. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that incident location. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional from state or defense?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
How long does the man allowed to go back?
You cannot go back to the incident location because of that.
All right.
Is it permanently where I live?
Right.
I think you should mute please mute it courtroom too. We can hear you all. All right. Mr. Shropshire, your case is 24 CR 0015068. You're in this case, you're charged with battery family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
17 total. 2018 FTA. Possession of cocaine with intent. What else? 2018 trespass, 2016 probation.
Okay.
Brief facts of the
Mr.
case, Your Honor, is that on April 11, 2023, the officer was dispatched to 294 Ard Place, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia, in regards to a dispute. The officer spoke with the caller, the victim, Yolanda, Yolanda, Zachary, Zackary, who stated that she was in the living room with her cousin when the defendant called the other cousin, Miss Zarina Stewart, for something. Ms. Stewart did not hear the defendant, apparently. So it appeared that she was ignoring him to the defendant. The victim began to laugh at the situation, and when the defendant thought the victim was being laughed at, when the defendant thought he was being laughed at by the victim stated that both parties got into each other's face. Where the defendant put his finger in her face, the victim then pushed the defendant's hand out of her way, at which point the defendant punched her in the right eye. Uh, the victim had a knot around her right eye. If we could sound for Ms. Zachary in accordance with Marcy's, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm not sure our office had an opportunity to get in contact with her or speak with her. But the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location, and no contact with the victim, and the completion of an anger awareness course.
All right, is Ms. Zachary present and wishes to make a statement? Okay, I don't see anyone with that name. All right, Ms. Cook, please proceed.
Yeah, we have no objections to the state's recommendation for a signature bond.
Okay. All right, with the information before me, I'm inclined to give the defendant that signature bond. He will receive a $4,000 signature bond through, I'm sorry, what level was it recommended, Mr. Howard? I didn't write that down.
3.
It was level 3? Okay. He will receive a signature bond through pretrial services at the recommended level 3. He's to have no contact with Ms. Zachary, stay away from that location, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and I am gonna order that he take the 1-day anger awareness course. Is there anything additional?
What's that amount?
4,000.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Oh, stand by there, the guard, more people.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah,
Next is number 14, which is the.
Okay. All right. Is he coming? All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Sneed. Your case is 24 CR 001507B. You're charged with DUI, driving while your license is suspended, open container, and handicap parking violation. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, can I explain it?
No, please don't. Please invoke your right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you. Mr. Howard?
14, 2018 battery, 3 counts, cruising and 3rd and trespass. He don't have any driving or DUI history that I saw. I saw a
Okay.
2013 suspended license conviction outside of that.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Pierre Thomas?
That is correct, Your Honor. Essentially, the facts of this case is that he was driving, I believe what's described as a moped, and he had parked his moped at the racetrack gas station located at 2250 Camp Creek Parkway. The problem is he had parked it in a handicap spot. I believe an officer observed that, engaged him in he parked it there to use the bathroom. I believe an officer observed that, engaged him in conversation, got the indicia that he, was under the influence. I believe I think he failed the field sobriety test, and there was an intoxilizer conducted where he blew, I believe, a .09, if I'm not mistaken, which is obviously above the legal limit. So he was charged with DUI per se. It was discovered that his license was suspended. He had inside the compartment of the moped, he had some sort of open container. And so that is the indicia for all of that. Your Honor, our records indicate that he did not have any sort of driving history, in that the driving while license suspended conviction out of College Park was 2014. So with that being said, the recommendation was And he already has a signature bond on the last 2 charges, by the way. But the recommendation was a signature bond through the jail on the remaining charges, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and no driving without valid license.
Okay, wait, to be clear, he already has a surety bond or he already has signature bonds?
He already had signature bonds on open container and parking violation. I can double check, but I think when I checked, that was what I saw.
And the DUI is a signature bond?
No, he has a surety bond, $2,000 surety bond on the DUI and a $1,000 surety bond on the driving while license suspended or revoked for a total of $3,000.
Okay. All right, Ms. Cook?
Your Honor, we are in agreement with the state's recommendation of a signature bond on all charges, so nothing further.
Well, I'm not sure that I am, so why don't you tell me about your client?
Yes, ma'am. He is 38 years old. He's been in Georgia all his life. He has 2 daughters, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. Your Honor, he does maintain his innocence for this particular charge. It was, I believe, what they consider a 49cc scooter that he was operating. His family does rely on his income. He does work at Hire Quest in construction. He also does some side jobs. And he would qualify for our services, Your Honor, should in the future. So we are asking the court for the signature bond.
Your Honor, if I can, I know this is an unusual request from the state, and if I could just put more facts on the record, it was stated that he was driving for DoorDash at the time when he was on his scooter. And so, you know, with all the facts and the history that was queued up, that's the indicia for the state's request.
The state is, and just being clear, the state is requesting the signature bond as to all counts.
Yeah, the other 2 counts already have a signature bond, but yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, defendant will receive a $4,000 signature bond, broken down as follows: 1,000 on each count. He is to not drive unless he has a valid license. And additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. That signature bond will go through the jail.
And if we could just specify
Is there
that it
anything?
includes scooters as well, because I think that
What? No vehicles. He's to drive no vehicles without a valid license. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. You're receiving a signature bond through the jail. Have a good day. Who do we have next?
Number 15, Solomon.
All right, Mr. Solomon, your case is 24 CR 001508A. You're charged with battery family violence. Do you understand, right?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Howard.
First arrest. He got a TPO. I think it expires Monday, so I don't know if it's a hearing Monday or what. But it was issued on the 7th of this month. Jail was the recommendation.
Ah, that's another one.
No, don't say that. Oh, no, don't say that. Okay. Mr. Pierre Thomas, please.
Your Honor, brief
proceed.
facts of the case is that on Friday, November 24, 2023, the officer responded to 1308 on Stone Bay Drive, South Fulton, Georgia, in Fulton County, Georgia. The victim stated that she was attacked by her child's father, the defendant. She stated that the incident occurred the day before, which would be on the 23rd, at the location of 4163 Fortune Point, Atlanta, Georgia, in Fulton County, Georgia. She stated that the defendant was angry that he could not leave the residence with his child identified as RS. The victim stated that she was punched in the face with a closed fist when he struck her, which caused her nose to bleed and a laceration to the bottom of her right lip. The victim stated that she was attacked when she attempted to leave the residence. She stated that she did not call the police because she could not get her nose to stop bleeding. She did state that the defendant attempted to call her father and apologize for the incident that took place. She stated that she went to the Piedmont Atlanta Hospital. The officer observed visible injury to the right side of her lower lip. The officer observed an injury that appeared to be healing because there was dry blood that was still visible from the injury site, and there was swelling that could still be observed on the victim. Our office has been able to get in contact with the victim, Ms. Jasmine, Jasmine Price, Price. And she advised that she and the defendant were living together for approximately 8 years, and they have a 2-year-old daughter together. They do not reside together currently, however. The victim stated that they do not have domestic violence history, and she's not afraid of the defendant. The victim confirmed the events in the warrant, but she stated the defendant did not punch her. He instead slapped her. The victim stated that she did go to Piedmont Hospital for the nose injury, and they told her to ice it. And she stated that she wants contact. If he could sign for her in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. Given the limited criminal history, Your Honor, and the nature of everything, the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, and the completion of an anger awareness course. Well, let me modify that. The completion of a family violence intervention program, Your Honor.
Okay, is Ms. Price on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. As you've heard me instruct before, what I'm most concerned with today are any concerns you have for your safety and your desires for contact. What would you like to tell me?
I do wish for us to be able to have contact because we do have a child together. She's 2. And since everything's been going on since yesterday, since he got arrested, she's been asking for her father because she was supposed to be with her father yesterday. So I wish you all would grant the signature bond.
Okay. Thank you for coming to court and making that statement, Ms. Price.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Cook.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Solomon is 27 years old. He's been in Georgia all his life. He did some college at Georgia Military. He's been self-employed since 2017. He owns Solomon Incorporated, which is a landscaping and consulting company. This is his first time that he's ever been arrested, no prior history. I also had the opportunity to speak with the victim. It's my understanding that she does want contact. They do share a 2-year-old. He does maintain his innocence for this case and intends to take this through to the end. We are in agreement with the signature bond, Your Honor. However, we would oppose the family violence intervention program as that is more of a condition, given his history, that would be more appropriate if he's convicted of this particular charge. So we'd be asking for a signature bond on the charge and for him to have no violent or harassing contact with the victim, and so they could be able to co-parent as long as that does not interfere with any TPO that's currently in place, which I believe pretrial said expires Monday.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial services. He's to take the 1-day anger awareness course. He's to have no further violent or harassing contact with the alleged victim. Additionally, he needs to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition of that signature bond. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further on the state, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Your
Who do we
Honor,
have
what
next?
level would this be?
Level 1, the recommended.
Thank
Well,
you.
he was jail, so level 1, according to me.
We're gonna do the interpreter case next. That is
Okay.
number 9.
All right. Good afternoon. Are you Amador Martinez? Is Mr.
Buenas
Martinez?
tardes, ¿es usted Amador Martínez?
Sí, buenas tardes.
¿Perdón?
Sí.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, sir. Your case is 24 CR 001518J.
Su caso, el número de caso es 24 CR 001518J.
Sí.
In this
Yes.
case, you're charged with reckless conduct.
Y en este caso usted tiene un cargo por conducta negligente.
In this case occurred on March 27th of 2024.
Y este incidente ocurrió el 27 de marzo del 2024.
You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you.
Usted tiene el derecho a guardar silencio. Todo lo que diga puede y será usado en su contra.
You have a right to an attorney today, and Mr. Pulliam is there to represent you.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado y el señor Pulliam está ahí para representarlo.
This proceeding is being conducted over the internet as a live stream, and it's being recorded.
Este proceso está pasado en la internet en vivo y también está siendo grabado.
That means any member of the public can log on and watch this proceeding.
Quiere decir que cualquier miembro del público puede entrar a la plataforma y observar este proceso.
Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing today?
¿Usted entiende sus derechos y cómo estoy conduciendo esta audiencia hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Howard, can I have his history?
Señor Howard, ¿puedo tener sus antecedentes?
I defer to the state. They messed up my GCIC.
Okay. Is this
I'm
your
sorry,
first?
madam. I couldn't hear.
Oh, he doesn't have it, so we're gonna
Oh.
get the history from the state, Miss Ferguson.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
No lo tenemos. Vamos a que recibirlos de la señora Ferguson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just one moment.
Gracias, señoría. Un momento.
So I believe I have a total of just 2 arrest cycles, most of which is older than 10 years.
Yo tengo aquí 2 arrestos y uno de ellos pasó hace más 10 años
Criminal trespass
por allanamiento de morada
and reckless conduct.
y conducta negligente.
All right.
Okay. Just a few facts for the record, Your Honor.
Quiero darle los hechos de este caso, su señoría.
So this incident occurred on March 27th, 2024.
Este incidente ocurrió el 27 de marzo del 2024.
The defendant was observed outside of East Point Package Store in East Point on the sidewalk, waving a gun with plenty of citizens around.
A este acusado se lo observó fuera del negocio East Package Store con un arma, moviendo un arma afuera en un área pública.
And though we acknowledge the limited criminal history because of the gun and the gun safety and the issue to public safety, the state is recommending a $10,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the East Point Package Store, and a gun safety course.
Debido a este caso que se relaciona con la seguridad en el uso de las armas, la Fiscalía recomienda una fianza de $10,000. I'm sorry, madam, did you say surety bond?
I did.
Thank you. Una fianza de garantía, que se prohíbe el uso de alcohol, drogas y armas, que se mantenga alejado del domicilio del negocio y también que tome una clase sobre la seguridad del uso de las armas.
Nothing further from the state.
Nada más de parte de la Fiscalía.
All right, Mr. Pulliam.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is Mr. Martinez.
Este es el señor Martínez, su señoría.
Your Honor, we'll be asking for a signature on bond through the jail.
Vamos a pedir una fianza bajo firma a través de la cárcel.
Mr. Martinez has told me that he is currently residentially challenged or homeless.
El señor Martínez me ha confesado que él en este momento está en la calle o sin techo.
He did tell me that he does work as a construction worker.
Él también me explicó que trabaja en la construcción como albañil.
And just, not getting too much into the facts of the case, Mr. Martinez says that regarding this incident, if at all, he was just defending himself, Your Honor.
No vamos a hablar mucho de los hechos en este caso, pero el señor Martínez me ha dicho que él solo estaba defendiéndose, su señoría.
We would also object to the gun safety course at this time, Your Honor, but we do not object to the stay away from the location.
He will not be, not objection.
Yeah, no objection to the stay away, but
okay, thank you. Objetamos a tomar un curso de seguridad en el uso de las armas, pero no hay objeción en mantenerse alejado de la residencia. o perdón, del negocio. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I said a residence instead of a store.
That's okay. All right. All right. In light of the information before me, defendant is going to receive a $3,000 surety bond. He is to stay away from that location and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons, including the subject weapon. And as a reminder, he'll be reset to state all purpose on April the 11th, whereby the case can be revisited.
Le otorgo una fianza de $3,000 bajo garantía, que se mantenga alejado del domicilio de ese negocio. Queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas, incluida el arma que posee. Vamos a volver a revisar este caso el 11 de abril del 2024 para volver a tratar este caso.
Is there anything additional?
¿Hay algo más?
I would just ask that it be relayed that I will have a social worker come see Mr. Martinez next week if he's still in custody.
También quisiera avisarle que voy a hacer que una trabajadora social venga a ver al señor Martínez.
That's all.
All right.
Eso es todo.
All right. Anything additional?
¿Algo más?
No, Your Honor.
No,
All
sí,
right.
señor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Eso termina su caso. Could I make sure that nobody else need me, Your Honor?
Yes, please sound before you leave, Ms. Chancey.
Thank you. ¿Hay alguien que necesite la ayuda de un intérprete para hablar con la señora jueza? Por favor, avísenos. Salude o prenda su cámara.
All right. Thank you,
All
Ms.
right.
Chancey.
Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful
Have a good
weekend.
weekend.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Position number 16, Stallings.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 001509J. You're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights today? I'm assuming that's a yes. Mr. Howard?
25 total. Got an open shoplifting. Well, two of them. 23 CR 006793J. On probation, possession of heroin with intent. 2016 probation, 2012 probation, 2015 FTA. That's it.
Okay, it's a $4,000 pretrial signature bond by Judge Law. Is pretrial going to come off that bond? On the shoplifting?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Are you going to come off a pretrial planning on coming off that bond, off that $4,000 signature bond?
Yeah, I typed that up 2 hours ago.
Okay. All right, brief facts of the case, and it's just relevant, Your Honor, to me at least. Brief facts of the case is that on Saturday, February 17, 2014, just this year, officer was dispatched to Stadium Grocery Store located at 843 Hank Aaron Drive in regards to a shoplifting call for service. The officer met with MD Abdul Khan, Abulkhan, who stated that the defendant came to his store and stole 3 boxes of honey buns from his establishment. The defendant was ID'd based on him being a repeat offender at the location. The victim was able to provide video footage of the incident. The officer was able to observe the defendant walk into the store, prop the door open with a garbage can, and then proceed to remove 3 boxes of various snacks from the shelf. Shortly after doing so, the defendant walked out of the store. The victim advised the items taken were approximately worth $100 in total. The victim also advised that the defendant had been criminally trespassed from the establishment previously, and I do believe that that is the case, Your Honor. Our office was not able to get in contact with Mr. Khan, so if you could sign for him in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, Your Honor. But the recommendation from the state is a $1,000 surety bond in this case, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from that location, and a no contact with Mr. Khan. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right, is Mr. Khan present, wishes to make a very brief statement? Okay. Ms. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Stallings is 50 years old. Your Honor, he did graduate from high school. I do understand that he does have a prior history. However, I just think it's noteworthy that the item allegedly taken is food related. It sounds like he is in need of assistance. It's my understanding that right now he's not currently employed, has no income coming in. He is married. However, his wife has her own medical issues right now and is currently in the hospital at Emory. They do have a 6-year-old daughter at home as well. They also have a 20-year-old who is currently pregnant, and they have a 2-year-old grandson. So there is a lot going on currently right now in his life. He really just needs services, Your Honor. Any shorty amount of bond is the equivalent of no bond in his situation. So we would be still asking the court to give him a signature on bond in this particular case.
He's gonna have to make that 4,000 bond. Okay. All right, defendant is gonna receive a $500 surety bond. He's to undergo a BHET. He's to stay away from that stadium grocery location, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. He'll be reset to state all purpose on April 11th. And I'm gonna ask that he be maybe looked at for past services as well, maybe. All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case for now. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 17, Stewart.
All right, Mrs. Stewart, your case is 24 CR 001510F. In this case, you're charged with simple battery. You understand your rights?
That's right.
All right, Mr. Howard.
11 total. Last arrest was in December out of Muskogee County, simple assault. 2023 battery, simple battery conviction. 2014 armed robbery, dead docket, and a 2014 battery DV. That's it.
Brief facts for the case, Your Honor, is that on March 29, 2024, the officer responded to a domestic 911 call located at 3810 Campbellton Road, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia. It's the Deluxe Inn, room 124. The victim advised that they got into a verbal altercation at the location. It was not clear to the officer what the topic was about, but the victim advised that at one point the defendant struck her in the face with a closed fist near her right eye. A guest in the inn next door could hear banging on the wall and heard the victim yell, "Get off of me." The defendant was recently arrested for the DV ag assault and DV cruelty to children on April 21st, 2023. That is the subject of the conviction that was ultimately reduced to battery. And I think the cruelty to children were no pros. But our office was able to get in contact with the victim in this case. The victim in this case, it is Kenta, Lvkenta Hall, Hall. She stated that she and the defendant have been friends for a while and dated for approximately 2 years. They have no kids together. They do not reside together. She confirmed the DV history from the 23 CR case. She confirmed the events in the report and stated that she's not really scared of the defendant, but she is scared of what he's capable of. The victim stated that she would like no violent contact and for him to take an anger management course. It is unsure whether or not she's on the call, so if we could sound for her at the conclusion of the state's request, that'd be greatly appreciated, Your Honor. I'd like to point out and notate that 2023 conviction that was taken on December 21st, 2023, it is the same victim as I stated. He was given 120 days to serve with the balance of the remainder of the 12 months to be suspended, so which he's violated that. The recommendation from the state is a $2,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and the completion of an anger awareness course. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right, is Ms. Hall present? Wishes to make a statement? Okay, I don't see Ms. Hall. So Ms. Cook, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is Mr. Stewart. He's 39 years old. He's been in Georgia most of his life. His mom's side of the family lives here. Dad's side is from New Orleans. It's my understanding that he's actually residentially challenged, Your Honor, and that on this particular incident, he and the complaining witness, she actually rented a room for them together and invited them over. He definitely maintains his innocence, as it relates to this particular charge. It's my understanding, Your Honor, that, if anything, he was actually defending himself in this particular incident. He does have, his pinky finger was injured, and it's also my understanding that some of his dreads, were pulled out as a result of this particular incident. I understand that he does have a history and may even still be on, probation from his previous case. He does have children, a 6-year-old and a 6-year-old daughter, a 7-year-old son. He was previously, a truck driver, but currently in between work and not employed currently. So any bond, any surety bond amount is the equivalent of no bond to him. So we are asking the court for a signature on bond. Nothing.
All right, defendant will receive a $1,500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that incident location. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. And as a reminder, he will be reset to state out purpose on the 11th of April. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Position 7, Lewis.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, your case is 24 CR 00-15160. You're charged with battery family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have that history, please?
38. 2020 DUI, 2018 probation. 2018 trespass DV conviction. 2015 simple battery, 2 counts. Trespass, battery DV, cruelty in the third. All of those were convictions. 2 2014 violation of family violence order convictions. 2014 simple assault DV conviction. 2013 simple battery DV conviction. 2013 simple battery conviction. 2012
Okay.
simple battery DV conviction. I got one more.
That's okay.
07 afraid terrorist threats conviction.
All right, understood. Okay, Ms. Ferguson, please proceed.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. So this incident occurred on July 4th, 2023. The victim, Ms. Kimberly Bowrun, advised that her husband, Mr. Lewis, had thrown a wooden chair at her, striking her in the face. She did have bruising that was observed by the officer. As you heard, there is some significant history of DV, battery, and criminal trespass. And so for that reason, we'll be recommending a $2,500 surety bond, stay away from the address, a no further contact, family violence intervention, and an anger management course. We are aware that Ms. Bowrun, she has made contact with our office. She is not afraid of the victim and is desirous of contact, but based on the extensive history and the likelihood of reoffense, we are still making our recommendation. And at this time, I'd like to sound for the victim.
And her name is Ms. Bowrun.
I have Kimberly Bowrun, Beaubrun.
All right, if Ms. Bowrun is present, wishes to make a statement, please turn on your camera and raise your right hand. You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
All right, yes. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, the truth.
All right. All right, what would you like to tell me?
Well, it was just a minor altercation. I wish not to press no charges. I wish that he doesn't stay away from me because I do get seizures and he is my caregiver when I do get sick. So I do need someone in the house with me that and I don't have anybody here, no family or no friends here. So he's the only person that I have. So I ask that the charges can be dropped. I know he has prior history, but not prior history between me and him. He's already been convicted for those charges, and I don't think that should affect him for the future moving forward. Like I said, it was a minor altercation, and I wish not to press any charges. And like I said, I do need someone in the house with me because I do have seizures, and when I do have seizures, they're ground seizures. So he's the only person I have here to help me out.
Okay.
And I do wish
thank you.
charges.
All right, thank you for coming to court. Mr. Pulliam?
Thank you, Your Honor. So this is Mr. Lewis, Your Honor. Mr. Lewis is 40 years old, Your Honor. And so we were asking for a signature on bond in this particular case, Your Honor. As you heard from the complaining witness in this case, she's not afraid from the victim. In fact, she does want contact with the victim. They have been married, to my understanding, for over 5 years. After speaking with Mr. Lewis, I also just want to point out, I'm not sure if it was mentioned, this alleged incident occurred July 4th of last year, Your Honor, and so there have been significant time, and there does not appear to be any other incidences that have taken place since then, because they have been in communication. And so we'll be asking for a signature on bond. We object to the family violence intervention program. Again, that's something that comes about with a conviction and a sentence. And we'd also object to the anger management, one-day anger management course. But again, we'll just be asking for a signature on bond. Mr. Lewis does currently work. He works for Steelcon as a grinder operator in Columbus, Georgia, Your Honor.
Okay. Defendant will receive a $4,500 surety bond. He's to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim. He's additionally to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. And as a reminder, he'll be reset to state all purpose on the 11th of April.
That was
Is
a
there
surety
anything?
bond, Your Honor?
It is a surety bond. Is there anything additional?
What was that amount?
4,500. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Position 8, Love. Come on, sir.
Okay.
You good.
Okay.
How about that? Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Love, your case is 24 CR 001519D. You're charged with reckless conduct. You understand your rights?
Yeah, man.
All right, Mr. Howard.
4 total. 2023 open case out of the cab. Identity theft fraud. Open case out of Fulton, pedestrian and roadway obstruction, possession of marijuana. It's 23 CR 008164D. 2020 shoplifting PTI. That's it.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pierre Tom. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Ferguson, please proceed.
Just one moment, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred on March 29th at approximately 11:03 p.m. The defendant was observed on Georgia Tech's campus. The police were called and made contact with the defendant. The police were able to determine through GCIC that the defendant had previously been given a stay away from Georgia Tech and was subsequently arrested for criminal trespass. There is already a $2,500 surety bond on this case. And there appears to be some history of criminal trespass and a risk of reoffense. So the state would not object to the preset bond. Nothing further from the state.
All right, Mr. Pulliam.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is Mr. Love. Your Honor, Mr. Love is 23 years old. He has a high school diploma. He currently does like odd jobs, Your Honor. He does live with his mother and his 10-month-old daughter. He's not on probation. We'll be asking for a signature on bond. It does not appear that there is a substantial criminal history. I think he may qualify for a signature of bond. But if not a signature bond, Your Honor, then the lowest possible surety bond that you can offer.
All right, defendant is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He's to stay away from Georgia Tech in its entirety and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapon. Is there anything additional?
Nothing.
All right, and we're gonna take a 5-minute break. Thank you all for your patience. Please hold. All right, are we ready to continue?
Position number 11, Reed.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Reed. Your case is 24 CR 001515Y. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
I do.
All right, Mr. Howard.
For the record, Judge, that wasn't 5 minutes. 26 total. He has current felony charges: burglary, financial transaction card theft, financial transaction card fraud. I'm not sure what his bond was today. He was arrested on the 25th of this month for shoplifting in Dunwoody. Was arrested on the 5th of this month for trespass. 2023 theft by taking, burglary conviction. 2022 trespass conviction. And 2020 FTA.
Thank you. Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, is this case, this is Mr. Tomas Reed?
Yes, position
Okay.
11.
I'm sorry, can you tell me the position we just had before that?
Oh, no, I
Oh,
cannot.
okay.
Miss, I'm sorry, I'm right. I think we did position 8 before this. Is that correct, Ms. Champion?
Yes, ma'am, we did position 8.
Position 8. So now we're on 11.
I'm sorry, and who was position 8? I'm so sorry.
Mr. Love.
Okay, I think I mixed up the facts for Mr. Love and Mr. Reed.
Oh, no.
I know. I
Okay,
am
so we need to do Love again.
Yes, I am so sorry.
I have to get him to bring him back. They already took him back to housing, so stand by.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and proceed with Mr. Reed, if that's okay, Your Honor.
That's fine. Since he's here, let's go.
Yes, I apologize. This is the case where the defendant was at Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Okay.
Yes. So my apologies.
Oh,
That
okay.
occurred on March 29th at 11:03. He had previously been advised via GCIC. The police were able to confirm that he was previously advised not to return to Georgia Tech's campus. So they subsequently made contact with him and arrested him and charged him with criminal trespass. There is already a surety bond of $2,500 on this case.
Okay. And we did get the correct history, though. I'm making sure, Ms. Howard, that he has several criminal trespass in his history.
Who?
Reed.
I'm just Mr. Reed, just making sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure I'm correct.
They both
Okay.
got the correct criminal history though.
Okay. All right, understood. All right, Mr. Pulliam.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this is Mr. Tomas Reed, Your Honor. After speaking to Mr. Reed, he has told me that he is residentially challenged. And so he's originally from New York, but he's lived in Georgia for a number of years now, Your Honor. He does also have some college education, Your Honor. And so we're asking for a signature on bond today for Mr. Reed. And we also do not object to the stay away from Georgia Tech.
Okay. Defendant's gonna receive $1,000 surety bond, and he's to stay away from Georgia Tech in its entirety. And we'll revisit position 8. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position number 18.
Up here.
Okay.
Come on, ma'am.
All right. Is this Adama Traore? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Your case is 24 CR 001511Y. In this case, you're charged with theft by taking and obstruction. Do you understand your rights today?
I think fully, like all of them. Yeah.
You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. You understand that? Okay, I'm gonna assume that's yes. Mr. Howard?
First arrest is what I have. Jail is a recommendation.
Okay. Mr. Pierre Thomas.
Not so brief facts of the case, but I'll get through them fast. Your Honor, on March 29, 2024, the officer responded to 1083-A Brentwood Way, Sandy Springs, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia, in reference to a domestic dispute. The officer had been at the same location earlier that day for the domestic dispute. The defendant stated that he had been continuously harassed by the harassed by the defendant. The victim stated he had continuously been harassed by the defendant. She was refusing to leave the apartment. The defendant did not reside there at the apartments. Eventually, the defendant complied with the officers, or said that she would comply with the officers, and agreed to leave. However, she stayed behind. When the officers left, she stayed behind and started to harass the victim again. The victim advised that the defendant took his Georgia tag off his vehicle and walked off towards the roadway. The defendant was later found hiding in a trash can. The defendant eventually had gotten out of the trash can and began fleeing on foot. She ran into the line of an intersection of Cloquet Road and Pitts Road while attempting to elude the officers. Multiple units had to respond to the location where she had to be detained. She was found in the woods and eventually was detained. The defendant herself admitted to taking the vehicle tag, and she replied that she had taken it and placed it into her suitcase. The officer noted that the defendant possibly had taken the victim's tag in the past. The recommendation from the state, given the limited criminal history and the nature of the charges, a signature bond to the jail, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location, and no contact with the victim. The victim's name is Reginald Trailer, Reginald Traylor. If we could sound for Mr. Trailer in accordance with Marcy's law, as our office has not been able to get in contact with him, it'd be greatly appreciated. Nothing further from the state.
All right, is Mr. Trailer present? All right, Ms. Cook, in light of the information before me, I'm inclined to give your client a signature bond through the jail with the requirement that she have no contact with that victim. And I apologize, Mr. Pierre Thomas, was there a request to stay away?
Yes, because that's what she took. His vehicle was located
Right,
in the
from
apartment.
his
Yes,
vehicle.
1083
Okay,
Brentwood. Yeah.
and to stay away from that location. Any objection, Ms. Cook?
No, Your Honor.
All right. In light of the information before me, defendant is going to receive a $2,000 SOB through the jail, $1,000 on each count. She's to have no contact with Mr. Trailer, stay away from that location, and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition of that SOB through the jail. Is there anything additional?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Nothing further from
All
the
right.
state.
All right. Best of luck to you. That concludes your case.
Position number 2, 4, and 5 are waivers.
All right. And I know breakout is requested for 2. So let's do 4. And is 8 coming back?
Yes, ma'am, they en route to get him now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. We're going to take up waive case position 424 CR 001503Y, in which the defendant is charged with theft by shoplifting and giving false information. Mr. Howard, the history.
Ooh. What number?
Number 4. I can't hear you.
27 total. Last arrest was February. Last arrest was February out of Cobb County, trafficking drugs and suspended license. 2019 FTAs probation, 2018 probation, 2018 fleeing an officer, possession of a Schedule 1 conviction, 2018 disorderly conduct conviction, and 2015 parole violation.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant, Wesley Eller, was observed on September 10th, 2023 in Home Depot at Holcomb Bridge Road, handing items to his companion, and she subsequently put them in her purse. The personnel with Home Depot subsequently called police. They gave a description of the car that the defendant was in. They subsequently made contact with the car owner on the 15th, where they were able to speak with the defendant, who provided a false name. The person that was with him provided some additional details about what had occurred at the Home Depot, and the defendant was subsequently placed under arrest for theft by shoplifting, as well as giving false information to a law enforcement officer. Each charge presently has a bond, a $1,000 surety bond. The state has no objection to that. Would also include a stay away from Home Depot and a theft course. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay. Mr. Pulliam?
Thank you, Your Honor. So Your Honor, Mr. Eller has given me express permission to waive his presence for today's first appearance hearing. We are asking for a signature bond. I don't believe Mr. Eller is currently on probation during this time. He's a general contractor, Your Honor. He also has 2 children that he helps us take care of and support. He does have some college education. And so he's also currently on child support, Your Honor. And so we're asking for a signature on bond for Mr. Eller in his case. After speaking to Mr. Eller, he says that it looks like there's a co-defendant and that the co-defendant is the individual who took these items from Home Depot, and that he had no involvement in that. And so he does maintain his innocence. But again, we're asking for a signature on bond for this particular case.
All right, defendant will receive a $2,000 signature bond through the jail, $1,000 on each count, and he stay away from Home Depot. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from defendant.
I'm sorry, Your Honor,
All right.
can you repeat that for me, please?
It's a $2,000 SOB through the jail, $1,000 on each count, and he stay away from Home Depot. Have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. All right. Was number 19 also a waiver?
It was not.
Is there an announcement for 19?
19 is in an intake and a holding, so I believe you're gonna do a phone.
Yes, they're gonna get him.
Okay, so we'll take the next waive case. I believe it was number 10. That was a waiver. No, we did 10.
Number
What was
5.
number 5? Okay. All right, we'll take up the case of Cedric Hand, 24 CR 001502G, in which he's charged with driving with a suspended license, hit and run, suspended registration, and no insurance, with the offense date of March 1st of 2024.
26 on probation, possession of a Schedule 1 or 2 out of Fayette County. 2020 suspended license dismissed. 07 suspended license fleeing hit and run conviction, and a 02 suspended license no law.
All right, Ms. Ferguson.
Yes, Your Honor. This occurred on March 1st, 2024, about 11:10 a.m. Mr. Ham was operating a Maserati and had an accident with Ms. Henry. Ms. Henry advised that she was going to call the police, and Mr. Ham covered his tag with a white object and drove away. Ms. Henry subsequently made contact with the police. The police were able to locate the abandoned Maserati that was returned registered to Mr. Hand with a suspended registration and no insurance. The police were able to locate Mr. Hand's social media accounts and confirmed his identity with Ms. Henry. He was subsequently arrested, and there are currently bonds on each charge: $2,500 surety for the driving suspended, $1,500 surety for the hit and run, $1,500 surety for the no insurance, and $1,500 for suspended registration. The state has no issue with the preset bonds and will also recommend risk reduction or defensive driving class for the defendant. That's all we have.
All right, in light of the information before me, Mr. Pulliam, I'm inclined to give your client signature bonds through the jail, but require no driving unless he has insurance, a registration, and license. Any objection?
No objections to that, Your Honor.
All right. I'm sorry, was someone saying something? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you to repeat what you said about the bond.
Oh, I hadn't said it yet.
Okay.
Defendant is gonna receive an $8,000 signature bond through the jail, $2,000 on each count. He is not to drive unless he has a valid license, registration, and insurance. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons as a condition of that signature bond through the jail. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the bench, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you. Well, he's not there. Best of luck to the client. Please let him know I send my regards.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right. Is that the last waive case that we're not requesting a breakout?
Position number 8 is coming back in now, Judge.
Okay. And 19 will be brought. Okay. I'm sorry, sir. We apparently had the wrong facts before when you were here. Your case is 24 CR 001519D. You were charged with reckless conduct. I give you my apologies. I should have caught that there was nothing reckless alleged. All right, Mr. Hart, can you give us the history again? I wrote part of it, but don't have it all.
What's the name?
Position 8, love.
Fourth arrest. 2023 open case out of the cab for identity theft fraud. Open case in Fulton. Pedestrian in the roadway, obstruction, possession of marijuana, and a 2020 shoplifting PTI.
Okay, that was correct. All right, thank you, Ms. Ferguson.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. My apologies to Mr. Love. On March 29th, Mr. Love was observed entering a car with a weapon. The police ultimately pursued, but ended up losing the vehicle and subsequently made contact with the defendant in Vine City when they were canvassing the area. They located a loaded concealed weapon. There is not a bond placed on this case. As you heard from pretrial services, there is some history and there's an open felony case in DeKalb. We believe because of the reckless charge of having a loaded gun concealed at a park and the open felony, that this is still a public safety gun case, which we would like to recommend a $10,000 surety bond. We don't have any stay away orders, but no alcohol, weapons, or drugs.
All right,
That's what we
understood.
stated.
Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. Mr. Pulliam.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this is Mr. Love. Your Honor, as we previously mentioned, Mr. Love is 23 years old. He does take care of his 10-month-old child. In which we would ask for a signature on bond again, Your Honor. From these facts of the case, it doesn't, I'm not exactly sure of the reckless conduct. It's not necessarily illegal to have a loaded firearm. Again, they didn't mention any kind of reckless conduct in regards to this particular case. Again, you know, we're not here arguing facts of this case, but we nonetheless maintain our innocence in this matter, but we will be requesting a signature on bond from Mr. Love.
All right, the $1,000 surety bond that I said will remain. Then they will receive a $1,000 surety bond. He's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, including that subject weapon. All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Love. Take care. All right, can we go now into a breakout for position 2? Oh, I'm sorry. Before we do that, I did ask for the breakout, but I know we're probably getting it started. Mrs. Hart, will you give us the history for position 2?
Who was that? Oh, Davis. Third arrest. Last arrest was on the 14th of this month, theft by taking. Before that was 1997.
Okay, so he's having a bad few weeks here. All right, can we go into a breakout? I believe Mr. Plim, do you still have your laptop up?
I do.
So you can go into the breakout. Okay, so can we put his laptop in? Miss Ferguson, Miss SG Denise, myself, and are there other parties who would like to join the breakout? And Mr. Pierre Thomas.
Yeah, you.
Mr. Howard, we have some discrepancies in the history. Can you give it to us again to make sure that we have the proper party, Mr. Tommy Davis, with the birth date ending in 1973? Oh, Mr. Howard, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on. I'm looking it up.
Okay.
You said birthday ending in 1973?
Yeah, his birthday should be 3/22/73 is what I have.
That's what I got. He said
Okay.
otherwise or something? I'm
No,
just
no,
asking.
we're not saying, we're just confirmed. We just have a very different history. So
What
what
do they
did
have?
he? 11 cycles, some ag assault, not what we just got from you.
Nah, hold on. Let me look at his booking. Two, 5, 108. FBI number should be 1884. Hold on. What the world he put in here? Yeah, he got the wrong history. Cause the FBI on the booking sheet starts with 1884. The FBI he ran is 2575. But Tommy Coleman Davis. It's Tommy Coleman Davis on this booking too. I don't know. I guess you can roll with the state.
So
But the date of birth I have though on this GCIC is 3/22/73 though.
and you had, tell me what you had again. You had 3 cycles. Most recent was last month, and it was theft by taking.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look at the last 4 of these social real quick. Yeah. Even the social matches up to this history.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's going on.
I
But
don't know.
on his booking, it says Tommy Coleman Davis. On his history, it says the same thing. But it's got
Miss
that date of
Coleman,
birth.
were you able to, I'm sorry, not Miss Coleman, Miss Ferguson, were you able to confirm anything about what was the history?
They're checking into it now, and I'm looking through to see if I can find a birth date or anything within the GCIC notes to see if I can figure out if there was a discrepancy or not.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
All right, no problem. And number 19 is not a waiver, just checking. Mr. Williams, did you speak to that client and they did not wish for you to waive their presence?
He's here. He's on the outside of the courtroom. Due to
Oh,
the
he's here.
that we're doing, we didn't bring him in yet.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we'll do this case so that